Hey guys, how's it going? It's Orit here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design a worksheet in PowerPoint. Worksheets are a great way to help your community retain the information that you're teaching. So if you're selling a product, if you're teaching an online course, even if you just want to do an opt-in freebie where someone can download a worksheet or an informational PDF, this is an awesome way to do that. Now you don't need any fancy design softwares like Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator. I've been designing these PDFs for years. That includes the worksheets that you see on your screen right now, typically self-development worksheets that are either trackers or goal-setting worksheets. But then there can also be even more complex workbooks that I've designed. These are all examples that I've done for my clients. There's also been some sales kits and media kits and even product sheets like this one right here, all the way down to a full-on ebook workbook that this is 48 pages that someone can go through. This is actually a guide that's associated with a bigger course. So all of these things are created in PowerPoint, and not very many people do that. They typically use Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. But I like to use PowerPoint just because it's really flexible, easy to use, and my clients can use it as well. Because when I'm done designing something, I send them the editable file and they can easily make changes later down the road to any text or pictures. So that's why I use PowerPoint. Now, let's go into, I'm going to show you exactly how to design a simple worksheet in PowerPoint so you can get the hang of it. So let's open up PowerPoint right here. And when PowerPoint first opens up, it'll ask you, I clicked on blank presentation there, it defaults to something like this where it's almost like you're going to be creating a slide presentation, because that's what PowerPoint was created for. It was creating presentations. But we're going to change this canvas into a letter size paper. So I'm going to go to Design, Slide Size, and Custom Slide Size. I'm going to click on Portrait here and go to, they have all of these options here. I typically choose letter paper. So if you want the worksheet to be horizontal, you would just choose landscape here, but I'm going to do it in portrait. So I'm going to click OK. None of this matters. It doesn't matter which one you click there initially. And now it's going to make it into a regular page size. So now we get to fill this up. Now I typically do, it's typically the same things that I do when I'm creating a simple worksheet. I'll automatically type in the title here. So let's just say this is a goal setting worksheet. I'm sure you have a much better title, but let's just assume that's it. So I typed that in. I'm going to go to Home, and if I want to customize this, I can click on here. Let's make that a little bit smaller. So let's go 32, and I know that'll be at the top of the page. So what I typically do now is I add in my logo. To do that, you go to Insert, Pictures, and then you just basically got to find your logo. I just remembered that our logo is on the drive, and it'll take me some time to download that. So I'm just going to use something here. Let's just say this thing here is our logo. Okay, so however you bring in your logo, you're going to go to Insert, Pictures, find your image, and then it's going to bring it in. And you can see here I can adjust the sizing of it like so. So I typically put the logo to the bottom, the top left, and then I'll put the title on the side. If you have a longer logo, like something that takes up like that, it's more horizontal, then you can put it at the top middle, and then your title would be underneath it. So it just depends on the orientation of your logo. But let's just say this is what we got right now. And you'll notice I'm just doing the very basics, and then after that we can go in and customize it with colors and focus more on the design. But this is just very basics. So we got the title, we got the logo. At the bottom here, I typically put a footer that I'll show you like in the examples here. A footer that just says all rights reserved and then your company name or your website. So I did that here as well. I did that here. I'll zoom up so you can see. Like so. So let's do that. So what I need to do is put in a shape. So I'm going to click on this, select the square, and just create a little footer there. I'll just make it black for now, and I'll double click on it to start putting in that text. So I'll put all rights reserved, and then we're going to insert that little copyright symbol. To do that, go to Insert, Symbol, and I have it here, right here, because I use it often. So it just showed up there. I can double click on it or go Insert and then close that. So you can see it showed up there, and then my company name. Or you could put your website too, that's fine. So I know for sure this is going to need to be a lot smaller. Typically the text in the footer is a lot smaller. So I'm going to just make it 10. And you can put in other stuff in here too. You can put in your email address, your phone number, all of your contact information. What I typically do when I want to separate that information is I'll go Insert again to Symbol, and you see this straight line here. I'll insert that in there, and then I can put my phone number, you know, and then I can insert that symbol again and then put in my email address like so. All right. So you notice here that when we inserted the shape, I don't know if you guys can see it, I'll maybe zoom up a little bit more, but there's a blue outline on the shape. If you want to get rid of an outline or change the color, I'll show you how to do that. By default, the shape will have an outline. So what you need to do is click on that shape, go to Format, and here, Shape Outline is where you can adjust the color or just say no outline. So I'm going to leave it at no outline. All right, so we have the basics of a worksheet. To see it, by the way, to preview it in full screen, you just need to click on this part here that says Slideshow, and then you can see a nice view of it and what it looks like. And to get out of this view, I just click Escape on my keyboard. So we got the basics down. Now is to fill in our content. And, you know, depending on what you need, it's going to, I could sit here showing you so many different ways of, you can literally create anything. You can create a checklist, checkboxes, tables, blank lines for people to write on. You can create boxes for people to write in, just literally anything. So I'm going to keep it simple and just show you the basics so you can kind of take those tools that you've learned and go ahead and apply it to whatever you need on your worksheet. So let's just start off with the first question that I'm going to ask in my worksheet. So I'm going to type into this box here because this box represents my body text. So the first question I want to ask, I'm just making this up on the spot here, is what is your 90-day goal? Okay, so very simple. I'm going to adjust the size of that. This text is too big for the body. I typically make it 12. We need to highlight all of it. So I'm going to click and select all of that, adjust it to size 12, and then put it at the top. I'm going to align it left. You can change the alignment up here, as you can see. So I'm just going to align it left and have this. What I really like about PowerPoint is that when you move certain elements around, you can see that it has these guidelines. See over here how it's telling me that if I'm moving it to the left, it's aligned nicely with the logo there. Or if I wanted to do it center, I can put it centered, and you see here it gives me that little guideline to tell me that's centered. So I really like that about PowerPoint. So I'm going to for now put that on the side here, and I want people to answer on a line, on a couple lines, what their 90-day goal is. So I'm going to go to Insert, Shapes, and the Line tool. So I can create, I'm just basically clicking and dragging. I'll show it to you again. Clicking and dragging, like so. Okay. Now if I want to create multiple lines and have them all the same length, you can sit here inserting one line at a time, but you can also just click on the line that you created and go Control-C if you have a PC. That's how you copy. I think you can also right click. Yeah, you can also right click and select copy, and then just basically paste another one below it, and you can easily just line it up like so. So these lines automatically showed up as blue, but I want them to be black. I also think they're a little too thin, so I'm gonna just increase the weight of the line by going to Shape, Outline, Weight, and you see here I can increase the thickness of it. So let's go 1.5 there. So, and you can keep doing this if you just have a simple worksheet that has questions and lines, you can just click and drag to select all of it, go copy, right click, go copy, and then go paste. So that's what I did here, and you can start to type in another question over here, for example. So I've created those now. I'm going to show you how to do something like checkboxes. So let's say now I want people to fill out some answer boxes for me. So let's just go to Insert and create those answer boxes, Shapes, and go to the square. I'm clicking and dragging to control the size. As you can see here, it always comes in default blue, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to go to Outline. I want it to be black, and adjust the weight of it again. And I don't want a fill because I want them to be able to write in that box. So I'm going to duplicate that box and put it right here. So make sure it lines up with the other end of the worksheet, and it also lines up with the other box. And I'm going to put some titles on the box here so people know what to write in it. So I'm going to go to Insert, Text, and we're going to type in whatever it might be. What is your weekly goal? And then we want people to identify whether or not they achieved it. So, was it achieved? And let's just say I want this to be in all caps, so I can go here, or actually here, tell it to go all uppercase, and just adjust the size of that. I want to make that bold. Center that. And then I just basically copied the text box and pasted it again. So it's just an easier way for me to keep the formatting that I had from this one and just paste it, as opposed to going Insert, New Text Box, and having to format it to make it bold and, you know, all caps and that sort of thing. So here I can say, what could you have done differently? Or just, what could you have improved? Let's make it a little shorter. And then again, center that. So you see here, it's starting to come together, right? I mean, it looks very simplistic because everything's just black for now. I actually wanted to show you how to customize and design and add all that color stuff at the very end. So right now we're just doing basics. So I want to move this up a bit. So I'm going to click and drag to select all of that, move it up so that we have more space below to add in our next part. So the way that I added in these answer boxes is the same way that you can add in check boxes if you wanted. So let's just say, for example, I'm going to just copy this text here. You wanted some choices. So choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. Okay, so let's just say you created that and you wanted little check boxes to be on this side. You can go back to insert the box and just, instead of making those bigger boxes, just make tiny little ones, right? You just have to make sure that you say no fill and then choose your outline color again. And then I can copy and paste it for all 3 choices, like so. So those boxes might be a little bit too big for these, but you get the idea. And you can also, like I said, make sure everything is nicely aligned by zooming in and using those guidelines to make sure everything is nicely centered. So that's how you add the check boxes. If you wanted to do a table, let's look at that. So let's go to Insert, Table, and I'm going to create a table that basically allows someone to check off whether they've completed their goal every day of the week. So let's go to Table, and I need 7 across. Actually, I need 8 across. I'll show you why. And then let's just do it 2 for now. So automatically it adds in this header row, which is basically where you're going to be adding your column headers. So I'm gonna just control the sizing of this, make it longer, and we're going to customize this table now. I'm gonna go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, I'm not customizing anything yet, just doing everything simple. By the way I'm zooming in and out is on the bottom right corner here. You can see, really handy to take a closer look at what you're designing. So we're gonna make sure all of that is centered and make sure it's in the middle of the box. You can see here align text. Right now it's at the top, but I want it to be perfectly in the middle. Okay, and here it's gonna say completed. So did you complete your daily goal? Okay, so this is kind of like, this should also be, this is a row header. So this should also be a certain color. So what I'm gonna do, and there's nothing really that we can, I don't need this box right here. So I'm gonna make this white to just kind of make it disappear. So I'm gonna go to the Design tab here, go to Shading and click on White, and that gets rid of that. Here I'm going to have this as, let's do purple. So I'm going to choose purple for all of the background of all of my heading cells. This needs to be white. So I go here to adjust the color of the text. I'm going to go back to home, make it bold. And this is all like jumbled up here, so I just need to make that a little bit bigger, but you can see here it affected this right here. So I just need to move everything over. And people don't really need a lot of space in these boxes anyways, because they're just going to be doing a check mark. So that works out like so. Oh, we have to align the center and align text middle. Okay, and you can, I can leave these gray. Actually, let's make them a different color. So I'm gonna click and drag, go to Design again, Just make them a lighter gray color like this. So you can totally customize what this table looks like. You can change the fact that right now the outline of everything in this table is white. You can change that to be black if you want. For example, select the entire table like so, go to design, and this pen color is what affects the outline of the table. So if I wanted it to be black and I wanted it to be a thicker weight of a line, I could select 2 1/4, and I'm going to go to borders and then select all borders. So I want all borders to be that thick black outline. You can see it did it here. If you end up with something like this and you don't want to see the outlines over here, then you just need to select into that cell, click on the down arrow, and kind of play with these to say, okay, I don't want the top border, I don't want the left border, and then you're left with something like that. So you can totally change that up. What I typically like to do when it comes to, let's just say we're all good. This is what I want. I got my answer boxes, I got some check boxes, I got some lines. I'm just basically gonna move things around to center everything like so. Just move this down a bit. Let's just say I'm done with the basics, setting up all of the basics in terms of content for this worksheet, and I want to customize things to make them my colors of my logo, and you know, change up fonts if I need to, etc. What I like to do is I like to take colors directly from the logo that I'm using and put them into the worksheet. So just to go back and show you those examples, like in this person's logo, her color was this light pink. So I incorporated that throughout, as you can see, throughout this worksheet here. Same with this, right? Their logo is this blue, so I incorporated that in here. Their logo was basically, their brand colors are white and black, so that's why everything is very neutral, white and black. So it just basically makes everything more cohesive, more branded when you're able to do that. So our logo is purple with black, white, gray kind of thing. I don't have the logo in front of me here, but if I did, and I wanted to sample that exact color, let's just say this logo right here is in purple, okay? And I wanted to sample that exact shade of purple so I could use it throughout my worksheet. I click on the item that I want to make purple. So I'm gonna highlight that, and I want to change the color of the text. So I go to the text color here, and you can do it manually, but like I said, I want that exact shade of purple. I would go to the eyedropper, and then I can sample. You can see here, as soon as I click, it's going to change the color of the text. So, like for example, if I wanted to use this exact purple, and I click on it, it's going to change that to purple, which is perfect. It's what I want. So now you can do that. You can sample your exact logo colors and incorporate them throughout your worksheet for that more cohesive branded look. And the rest from here is just, you know, whether you want to use these fonts. You have a whole array of fonts to choose from. I typically like to go the lighter version, cleaner fonts, so you can change that up. And yeah, those are the basics of creating a worksheet. So once you're done designing your worksheet, you're happy with it, it's all good to go, you need to save it as a PDF in order for it to be a published version of your worksheet that you can hand out to your clients or your community to fill out. So the way to do that is to go to File, go to Save As, and you're going to choose a place to save it. So it doesn't matter, wherever. I'm going to just go to Desktop. I've already titled it Goal Setting Worksheet, which is great. Now under here, Save As Type, I'm going to click on that and then go to PDF. So once I do that and save it, You see it automatically opens it up as a PDF for me. If not, I can easily just go to the file on my desktop. I have a million windows open. That's right here. Let's double click on that and there you go. This is the published version of my worksheet that I can give to my clients. They can print this out and fill it out on their own. You also want to save the PowerPoint file. So that's the editable file that you can always come back and change. So make sure you go to File, Save As, and again, we're going to save this on the desktop and make sure it says .ppt or .pptx. That's the editable file. So once you've saved that, and I'm going to close out of that, it's right here. So this is the PowerPoint editable file that you can then come back to. If there's anything specific that you want me to show you, I mean, like I said, I've created so many different types of PDF publications using PowerPoint. It fascinates me every day how every single one is different, and there's just so many things you can create in PowerPoint. So if there's anything specific, if you want me to go over how to create a checklist or a media kit or anything like that, just please leave it down in the comments below so I can be sure to create a video on that for you. And guys, if you want help, if you need help with creating your worksheet, workbook, and you want to hire me to do it for you, I would love to help you guys out. Hit me up by emailing me. Again, I'll put that email address down in the description below so you can follow up with me. All right, guys, well, that's it for this video. Give us a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more awesome stuff coming your way. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Back from the dead.